following program on Ada Derana 24 is classified for general audience. It is intended for all ages. It contains little or no violence, no strong language, and little or no sexual dialogue or situations. We would like to remind our viewers that the views expressed in this program by our participating guests are solely viewpoints of them who take part, and does not reflect the views and beliefs of the Derana Media Network.
Well, welcome down to Gen XYZ right here on Ada Derana 24. Today we are going to talk to you about another concern that concerns the youth of Sri Lanka. We've talked about quite a lot of other concerns as well right here on Gen XYZ. Today it's about music. Today's industry in Sri Lanka is quite trafficked with so many artists coming on board and then leaving the next second as well. But today we've got someone that has lasted for a very long time because he does not focus on the quantity of things, but rather the quality of music. And that is Mario Ananda. So let's have a little conversation with him and see exactly how he made it in the industry. And if you are a youth wanting to make it in the music industry, how you can do that. Well, hello. Thank you so much, Mario, for actually doing this with us. Let's have a seat.
Thank you for having
a conversation, of course. So first of all, before I start anything, I've got to look at that little thing that you've got, okay?
The bling bling.
Tell me the story behind that, Mario.
Yeah, actually in 2014, I went to Paris, okay? And I was actually fed up with what I was doing at that time because I was singing my father's songs. And when I came back to Sri Lanka, I was almost depressed. And I was thinking, I'm not doing what I wanted to do because my music weren't heard over media. And the other thing was that I wanted to build my own character in such way that the younger generation, actually the newly born, will actually get to know about me. So I came up with a concept called Living on the Edge back in the days because I loved sports. And I'm a person who, dreamt of playing basketball but never knew how to do it. So I need a reason to go back to that time, because I was an old age guy and I cannot go and do the same drills and stuff like that. But I came up with the idea that I should spend time with kids and learn from them. So that's where I started off with a song called Living on the Edge, where swimmers come and swim with me. And I'm happy to say a boy named Hatim. He was like 10 years old back in the time. And now he's breaking almost all the records in Sri Lanka, and his only target is to go for Olympics. So like that, I met a lot of children. So afterwards, some time later, I wanted to do wushu. So this is my first glove actually I had, and I completed that project also. That's called Rock and Roar. And after finishing it off, people got to know about my project and people loved it. So my mother and my sister said, okay, we should make it a mark and keep this safe for a long time.
I love it.
So honestly, I always bring it wherever I come to have a conversation, a deep conversation with people, so that all the children who worked with me will see this and remember their promise of actually going international and doing something meaningful for the country.
I love that, Mario.
Thanks, man.
Now you mentioned something, the fact that you're an old age guy.
Yeah.
That can't really do the tricks. How old are you? Come on.
I'm actually becoming 30 now.
30, that's not much at all, but 30 years of, having experience in the music industry, right? I'm going to count all of the years that you've got as well, because your dad was very famous in Sri Lanka. Some of the youth still, till date, actually sing your dad's song as well, because we grew up with his songs.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, by the way, and the renditions that you do as well, absolutely exquisite.
Thank you so much.
But starting your industry from that, right? How did you turn into falling in love with music yourself?
Definitely.
Because sometimes when your parents do certain things, you'd be like, oh man, I don't want to do it, I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
But how did you fall in love with music?
Actually, it was my father, to be honest. When I went to school, it was only one thing, just finish it off, come back home and listen to whatever the new songs that he has created and brought home back. So that was my time spending. And the other good thing was about my father, he never restricted his work from my life. He always took me, held my hand, do you want to go to the studio today? Okay, get up in the morning, okay, let's go. And I was like around 5-6 years old back in the days, but he was not afraid of having a kid inside the booth, like recording studio, while all the other players were recording. Back in the days, it was not like jacked and all that. It was all mics and all that. So he told me, you keep quiet, okay? Just look what's going around you. And I did it. And he trusted me as a kid. That's something every parent should have for their children, okay? Trusting. And I believe that my father saw what I was going to do even when he's not there. Back when I was a small child, and I was so thankful to my father and also to my mother for believing in me even before they saw what I was going to do in my life. So that really gave me the push to go towards music, because after my father died, I wasn't having the idea of doing music, but I was, naturally brought into this. So down the lane, I took the decision, like I told you, in 2014 only. I thought, okay, I should not go on singing my father's things. As you said about something that the other children also sing my father's songs. The only guy who's not singing my father's songs is me now. That's a funny fact. And I'm actually focusing on my Western originals, which is in a way pointless in a country like Sri Lanka, because there's no attention for that and there's no market for that. But why I do that is because it gives me peace, and also it brings up my own character, outlining the fact that every child should focus not only in Sri Lanka but go to the global market, because we are fighting for the same stage as we spoke before, and that needs to stop, because we are like coming in and going, wasting our lives, not getting anything productive out of it.
Right, we'll talk a little bit on that a little later.
Definitely.
But for the moment, I just want to sort of establish, who Mario is,
Definitely.
right? Because you make quality music as opposed to the quantity of music.
Yeah.
You mentioned something in terms of westernized music.
Definitely.
That's your new originals that you're building as well, right?
Yeah.
How is that journey coming about, and why did you choose Western as opposed to, Sri Lankan Sinhalese music?
Yeah, because I always loved this tonality which Western music carried out, starting from Brian Adams. I started like Michael Jackson. I love it because I really like that cranky, like that distortion and all that. It was in my blood. I don't know, for some reason. And I'm kind of like a hyperactive person always. Okay, I want to run around. I want to talk so fast. Okay, so I need that music pumping me up. That's why I did this song, "Living on the Edge," for the children who are like really hyperactive in their teenage. They want to do sports. They want to like play around. So this music has this beat of giving you that extra energy or that pumpiness to keep your mentality going on. So that was always there for me. So I wanted Western to be a bigger part of in my life, because I was really good with writing my English lyrics as a teenager, starting from like 13, 14 years old. It was horrible back then. Okay, my friends, Damit, one of my good friends, he was like always, he was the person who was editing my song. So I was like giving it to him. What do you think about it? Oh, rubbish. Don't talk about it. Okay, and he went, no, this is good. You can go somewhere with this. So like that, it started off. But then again, I thought, even though we don't have a market in Sri Lanka, why not use it for a really good cause that will actually affect the future of Sri Lanka? Because now the language is not that much of a big barrier. Back in the days, yes, maybe like 10, 20 years ago, English was a problem for people. But now children are listening to these kind of things. And why not take the ideology that we have in Sri Lanka internationally with a simple language like English? Because everybody knows it. We cannot, say if for a fact that Sri Lankans have really good thinking capacities, there are people, but they cannot actually communicate it with the world because they have this language barrier. Why not have that language in your life and use it to write books, use it to write songs like this, and take it out to the world? So that's where I thought, I should focus totally on Western. And mind you, I'm not actually worrying about writing Sinhala songs, because I have plenty of my father's songs. Like I said, that market is there. I want to build my own market, which might be bigger than my father's market someday to come. That's the truth about that.
So I love the fact that you're making your new music as well,
Yeah.
but in the end of not necessarily catering for the Sri Lankan crowd per se as well, but internationally,
Definitely.
right? So I can definitely see you do that in the future. All the very best.
Thank you so much for
I'm
that.
in full support of it as well.
It means a lot.
Mario, you're a youth, right? You were actually a youth once upon a time, and when you were doing music, you were youth as well. When you see the youth of Sri Lanka today, especially in music, right, and the youth at the time that you were doing music, How do you compare it? What are the major differences that you see?
The only difference what I see is that the opening is bigger. The same talent is there. 10 years ago, there were talented people. 10 years after today, there will be talented people also. The thing is that only talented people, they are not concerned with getting popular overnight. They believe in their talent and they want to create good content so that their names will last long. That's how Michael Jackson was made. That's how Bryan Adams were made. People like that, they have a dream of actually keeping a mark in this world. But not everyone can do that, Aqua. And I don't expect that to happen also. The only matter is that the more the door opens up, the more the people who doesn't know anything about it comes in and they owns it for themselves. And in a way, it's selfish. Because, for an instance, let's take cricket. We cannot say that the top 12 players are the best in Sri Lanka. No, because we are not taking into consideration about the children out of the region, right? There are people in Jaffna, there are people in Trinco, Mahanuvara. There are a lot of children who might be able to play cricket better than, I have to be honest. There could be good swimmers, but they don't have a pool in Mahanuvara or maybe in Jaffna. So that fact assures us that it's really sometimes unfair opening a bigger door for the people, but not letting in the real people to actually take over it.
All right. Yeah. Now that brings the deeper question here today, right? So for me, to be honest, right now in Sri Lanka, we have, if I would put it this way, to not offend anyone, okay, we have every Tommies and the Dickens and the Harrys coming into the industry of music through TikTok, through Instagram, and what they do is they come with the popularity of things.
Exactly.
They cannot sing for anything. They cannot sing, and they use autotune as well quite a lot, right?
Quite a lot.
So how do you see the industry right now in music? Like, what do you think about it? Do you think this is the reality of what things are going, and is it going to get worse in the future? What is your take there?
I believe that if worse is there, the goodness will always prevail someday. So darkness needs to be there for light to be praised or be appreciated in somewhat way. So I believe that this era is actually good for somewhat people actually start thinking, okay, we have been living in darkness and this is going towards darkness. We got to stop here. Now they have how can I say, now they have the authority to actually fight for what's right and demand for what's right in Sri Lanka. Because they know now I have to say certain media or maybe certain people have been giving wrong ideology about, information about people. And we've been believing those people for a long time. And look what they did to this country. And isn't that the same thing that's happening in the industry of music in Sri Lanka? Because they've been hiding the really good people and the art is actually going down the drain. And now only the people are like you now, because the reason that it's striking your head, you are asking this question from me, Mario, isn't this the truth? Yeah, you are right. And you are questioning it because it's needed to be questioned. And that's good because people are actually awakened right now and they are going to open the doors for the real people in the future. I'm happy about that.
But see, the problem there, Mario, is the fact that no matter how much we speak of our truth, there is no point, because you literally take anyone. Now suddenly you find someone with blue hair coming singing and then they're off the market the next second, right? Exactly. I'm going to be honest here, right?
I know what you mean.
And then they don't really sing either. They bring the appeal of, okay, this is trendy, this is the sexual appeal of things, and this is what I sell, right? And then they go selling out markets, they sell out university, concerts and so many other things as well. But when you think about the quality that they bring in terms of music, that throws away every single youth that is actually wanting to pursue music. That throws away the parents as well to be like, this is not the industry I want my son or daughter to go to.
That's the very reason where I come into the play, because somebody needs to build a role model, okay, somewhere. Like they always question me, Mario, what you're doing is not giving you results. Yeah, I'm not going to get any results out of it. But the generation or the general public is going to get results out of it, because I'm going to make a pathway. And not only me, there are people who's actually fighting for these kind of things in Sri Lanka. They are very silent, okay? Because a good tree needs time to grow. It's like that. So down the lane, there may be about 10, 20 children coming behind me. But in another 100 years, there will be about 1,000, 2,000 people, because they believe in certain things that I believed in. And somebody needs to say no and start something good for others to actually, stand up because they need courage. I'll just give you a very simple example. Have you seen the birds fly in the flock? Okay, there is a strong person in the front. You always look at that strong bird. He's not actually expecting anything out of it. He knows he's just flying in front, and the rest is coming, and
following
exactly. They are going as a family, and maybe by the time he lands on the ground, he will look around. Oh my God, there are about 20 birds flying behind me, and the things that he has done with his strength has actually given them a good place to land on. That's how we need to look at this. But somewhat criticizing is also needed, but at the same time, somebody actually needs to show people what's good out there. That's the truth.
I love that you said that, but there's still more, to come there. But we'll talk about it on the other side. But first, I want to know, Mario, what do you think in reality, or for you personally, what do you think music really should be?
Music should actually awaken you to the truth. Okay, why I say this is because I don't know whether you're a believer of Buddha or God, but I have deep faith in those two. Because the reason is that you ultimately you need to have an ultimate goal in life. I believe it's nirvana. I believe it's heaven. Heaven is here. Nirvana is here. There's no other place after you die. Why you wait for something good after you die? You live it right now. You find it right now. And that gives you a place like music to find it and touch people's hearts. Sometimes when you listen to a song like that, like let's say Bryan Adams' Heaven, you feel like crying. Oh my God, this man is actually touching my inner feelings. How does he do that? That is heaven for me. That's music. And it gives you that courage. I should call her back and talk to her right now.
No.
That is music, I mean, man. So that actually touches your inner self and actually frees you. And that's what art needs to be. That's what music needs to be. It needs to awaken your soul. That's all.
I love that, Mario. I honestly do. So
Thanks,
I feel
man.
like the main thing that you're trying to sort of emphasize here is the fact that if you want to be a musician, especially as a youth, you need to be able to move yourself and move someone else as well emotionally. Love that. We'll talk a little bit more on the other side right here on Gen X XYZ is exactly where you're tuned into. In case you're wondering where this beautifully aesthetic place is, it's Barnsbury. They've got amazing food, amazing drinks, and in case you want to come by and grab a cup of coffee, they've got it absolutely for you. So definitely stop by Barnsbury. And with that, we'll see you on a different segment, of course, right here only on Gen X XYZ. Welcome down to Gen X XYZ. Well, we're in conversation about music. If you're a youth member that passionately wants to pursue music, well, we've got a person that speaks the truth and produces quality content when it comes to music. It's Mario Ananda. Well, thank you so much for coming through that, and of course,
thank you
producing the quality that you actually produce as well. And most importantly, I think you speak the truth. Right, especially in the music industry, and that is something very hard for Sri Lankans and the musicians presently as well to sort of digest. So love that you're doing that and making the impact that we need as well in Sri Lanka.
Thanks,
Mario, do you have a TikTok account?
No, I don't have.
You don't have?
Because everybody pushed me to make one. Then I made one, and I don't know, my fingers got hurt.
Right.
And the problem is that I'm saying things that I don't want to say. So. I stopped doing it.
Okay, so you don't have a TikTok account, you don't have an Instagram account?
Instagram I have, but it's very dormant.
You don't use it, okay.
People are not there.
But the people that use it, especially to sort of, obviously TikTok has a music aspect of things, and they sell their music through that as well, right? That's how they sort of get popular.
Exactly.
They do all sorts of weird dances and everything, right? They make their music popular through that. Right? Now, something else we mentioned before as well is in terms of the statistics.
Yes.
People want stats.
Yeah.
If you don't have stats, especially a business, right? Music is a business. Whether you like it or not, it is a business. So as a youth member who wants to pursue it in the music industry, you're going to be like, okay, even though you produce quality content, if it's not selling, if it doesn't have the views, if it doesn't have the likes, if it doesn't have this many sales, then there is no point. I'm a failure in the music industry.
Definitely.
And that is a problem that we have presently in Sri Lanka as well.
Yes.
What is your take on this, Mario?
Like you said, stats is a graph, okay, right? But I like that you brought it out because there's a thing called event horizon. When you take a graph, exponential, like it goes almost straight someday. Now, if that goes like that, like if this is a graph and this is going like that, and that's event horizon means it's never going to come back again to the same state that it was before, which means total destruction. Like there won't be a market. That's the scary part. There won't be a market for you to sell. There won't be a market for you to popularize anything because the society will be damaged heavily because their minds have been damaged. So stats is needed somewhat. But if you totally focus on that so much, because every day you're thinking about, okay, 1.1, okay, 1.2, okay, we are increasing, and you want to go 100%, pedal to the metal, and you're going to crash. So people don't see that, and we are almost in the verge of actually,
having a collapse.
Collapse, to be honest, because it's very dangerous, and people are never seeing that. If we go there, like, for instance, like you can sell something saying, okay, this gives you so much of energy, okay, and if somebody comes up with the concept saying, okay, if you buy this product, you can manipulate the entire world with your thinking ability. These kind of things are like very, how can I say, those are lies, right? But
those are dopamine, instant
exactly,
dopamine attractions.
Yeah. So that is very scary in a way. Going there will never help you to. There won't be a world afterwards. That's the problem. And they think that they are actually heading somewhere, but they are not. It's just a vacuum of darkness, like I said before. So know where you're heading. And think of the results. You can have 100% of something, but you cannot have 200% of something.
But then doesn't it matter, Mario? Like, doesn't the stats matter? Isn't it essential for you to actually be established as an artist as well? Make the records internationally?
Yeah, it could be, but that is very temporary, right? Aqua, anything is temporary. But how can you say that, okay, for instance, think that I became very famous right now. How am I going to sustain that the next day? That was a very scary thing that was in my mind when I came, like I told you, in 2014. Okay, I'm at the peak level of my life. And I was singing the same songs every day for 30 days in Europe. Okay, I was sick. And I was so sad about the band members. They were like sweating and playing the same song again. People think, oh my God, they are touring all over the world, eating good food and having the great time of their life. No, it's hell in a way. And I was like waking up.
Why is it hell?
In a way, like if you really think, your age, it's being fast forwarded by other people. Okay, you're not actually looking at yourself whether you are actually developing your talent or not. Now, compared to the international artists and in Sri Lankan, arena, Michael Jackson, he does an album for once a year. And he takes a break for about 9 months to 10 months. That's the celebrity.
Adele,
yeah,
another example.
Definitely. Yeah. But the celebrity, the way that we are defining a celebrity in Sri Lanka is you go for shows every day. And even in that day, you go for 10 shows. And you are going to run out of fuel and you're going to go old, okay? The reason that most of the children are looking so old in their 25s, 26 is really because they're being fast forwarding their lives. Why not take it very slowly? Because I've been doing this and I have the right to talk about it, Aqua. Yeah. I've seen people falling off, running so fast. And isn't it the same thing that's happening in the market, okay? Like it happened to this country and we are in a very dangerous position compared to other countries in the world. And this is where we need to think, okay, there's just 99.9% we have come so far. We should not take that 1% forward. This is it. If we take this is going to ruin the entire nation. There won't be a country called Sri Lanka afterwards, because what if we, mess up the mindset of the youth and they come down to the streets with all the fire, and the bottles and everything that they have, throw it against the government, and the people will come down to a level of a civil war. That's very bad. And what I see is this TikTok and all of these things, they are influencing children and people in a bad way. They are actually driving the general public into a world that does not exist. And when the person who's looking at this, believing that person, when he reaches that place and when he's not going to get what he wanted, he's going to go so mad. It's like an animal. And that's where he's going to break down and cry, okay, everybody lied to me. There's no purpose in my life.
You
Okay, now I'm going to break through. Exactly.
Yeah.
The depression comes there. Exactly. That's
Mario, something else that I wanted to mention as
Yeah.
well is in terms of the sexual appeal of things,
Yeah.
right? Let's be honest, as a businessman, if Sri Lanka is a cultural-based thing, we are filled with norms, we're filled with a cultural norm that everyone's like, no, this is wrong, this is, you can't even show, you know, a little bit of your foot, a little bit of your leg. It's a whole ideology that goes on, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's the easiest to sell to them
Yeah.
when we have a product or a brand to sell, especially
Exactly.
music, right?
Exactly.
It's a brand that you create for yourself.
Definitely.
I will show you this leg, I will show you this part of my arm, and then they're like, okay, cool, that is what's going to get us the
Exactly.
views, that is what's going to sell stuff, and that's selling a lot of music
Exactly.
presently right now.
Yeah.
That is the sad part, right?
Yeah.
So the fun thing that you mentioned, I think, in the previous thing as well, that just clicked on my mind as well,
Yeah.
is the fact that, you know, yes, people want to see sexual appeal
Exactly.
in things, right?
Yeah.
People want to see, okay, a little bit of skin. What's the next thing? They might go nude next.
Exactly.
What is after it? You know,
Exactly.
because it's a dopamine fix.
Exactly.
And when that dopamine fix goes on and on and on and on,
Where is it good
what's
stuff?
the next
Exactly.
thing? I love that.
And that's the chaotic thing. If I told you, Akwal, about a movie called Basic Instinct, if any youngster after 15, don't worry. I'm like, people are open for so much of content in this world. Why not watch a good movie?
It's a 90s movie,
It's
by
a
the way.
90s movie, by the way, and it explains a lot with what you were actually saying right now. Because sexuality, it's a very simple thing, to be honest. Okay, we are born in the nature, and it's a part of our nature. And don't make it a big deal. Making it a big deal through the culture itself has, frustrated the people for a long time. And that's what it made the marketeers to use it in such way. Okay, you don't have this, but we got this. We are going to show you this. Now you're going to have fun because you are looking at it. That's what and that's that's cynicism. It shouldn't be like that, because it's a very natural thing any boy or girl could have. Why use it to market something like that? In a way, I mean, like, it's unethical, to be honest. That's why it is unethical. Now, in the 90s and 80s, the advertisements, we used to think of, sometimes we go on YouTube and actually we search for those advertisements and say, oh my God, a girl is taking that boy, giving him some chocolate and, a rose or something. And it was it was breathtaking for me. That's a very nice thing to do. When you bring in sexuality to that too much, there's no love. And there's no caring for people. That sensitivity actually being taken off from the society. Now you tell me, Aqua, is it a good thing to remove sensitivity from a society like Sri Lanka? We really need that, because people don't think about the people who are living in rural areas. I have gone to almost all the poor people, lived amongst them, okay? Not as a celebrity, but as a normal person, okay? In Buttala, I got to tell you, in Moragala is the highest rate of child abuse in Sri Lanka, okay? I'll tell you an instance where 3 girls, they run away from their house every night when their father is coming to the house, okay? And they sleep on a rock in the night in total darkness because they're afraid of their father. It's not their father's problem also. It's the mentality that that Moragal area has been created in. Okay, they abuse children a lot. And here we are giving a total wrong idea about life, saying that we are doing so well in Colombo. Don't look at that side. Okay, forget about that side. And that's where the sensitivity comes out, and we are making a lot of people suffer while having fun here. And that is not right. If we believe in humanity, we are human, right? After all. And humanity is equality. And if I'm having fun, why not let them also have fun, but not dirty fun like that? An old man cannot, abuse their children like that. So if we are supposed to talk about them, we need to be sensitive. And if we forget about sensitivity, it's going to be a big problem. And using these kind of things will actually take that sensible feelings towards humanity from the people, and then and there, they will be just selfish, Aqua. They will just get what they want, even kill a person to get where they want to be. That's how
that was very deep, Mario, honestly. I just want to ask you one small thing that I actually want to ask you is, for those that are actually watching right now, parents as well,
Definitely.
they're very concerned if their children are very passionate about music and they want to pursue in this industry. What is the one piece of advice you have in one sentence
Definitely.
for their parents if they actually want to pursue in music, but quality music and produce quality music as opposed to, you know, the sexual appeal of things and so much more?
I would ask parents to not lie to your children from childbirth itself. Tell them the truth about life. That's it, Aqua. If you are not faking it in front of your children, the children will see how you live your life and they will be always awakened to the truth. It's simple as that. My mother and my father did that. I came here today in a bus, okay? So I have to accept that. I am a poor person in Sri Lanka. Regardless, my music is not selling with dollars, but I have peace in my mind. But I do what I want to do in a good way. And it gives a good vibe to the people and to myself. And that's it.
I love that, Mario.
Thanks,
honestly,
man.
thank you so much, Mario,
So
for
much.
that and for actually making the effort to come here today as well.
Definitely.
And, you know, talk to our youth as well. Thank you very much. Well, we'll talk a little bit more on the other side as well. This is Gen XYZ right here, only on Other Derana 24. Welcome down to Gen XYZ right here on Other Derana 24. Well, it is of course a very beautiful space here right now as well. As you can see, it is Barnsbury is exactly where we are located at. It's a brilliant, brilliant place, by the way. So I'm quite curious to try it out because I've got strawberry hot chocolate, which I never knew existed.
I should have gone for that.
Exactly, and hot chocolate as well. It's a beautiful place that we stop by. Barnsbury is exactly where it is. Well, with that, we're in conversation with Mario on regards to what music is, the importance of music in the youth of Sri Lanka. Now, Mario, you obviously mentioned quite a lot of deep things as well in the previous segment. One such thing that you mentioned, which I really, really want to dig deep and ask you, is when you mentioned that in 2014 you were in the peak of your career. You have to perform 10 shows back to back. Every member of your band was also like, sweating. They were sweating, they were playing, and they couldn't even take it because it's the same repetition
of everything,
right? How can you humanly be possible to perform 10 shows back to back per day? And that's the case with many other people as well. Did you use enhancements?
No, I did not. The thing is, actually, I believe that enhancements, what they do is that it actually relaxes your mind. They say that it opens up for a lot of energy and all that. But what I feel is that isn't that the same thing somewhat meditation does in a certain level? You must have seen Bruce Lee doing the 1-inch punch. Did he need any kind of a substance to get that energy out? No, it was total technique and total focus of that. And when you are in music also, when you are really passionate of what you're doing, sometimes you tend to not go off pitch at all. Sometimes people ask me, Mario, how do you bend your neck and do all those sorts of things without going off pitch? And I say, I don't know. I'm not actually thinking too much about it in a way because I'm enjoying. It's almost the same thing that a guitarist would do. They close their eyes and sometimes after they play, they say, where did that come from? It's somewhat to do with a lot of meditation. I feel that when you're intact with your soul and everything, how like coming into the fullest potential of yourself, it becomes so natural for you. It's effortless. We call it effortless singing in a way. Then you can dance around, you can run around the stage because you're so natural. You're not forcing it out, but there are people who try to force it out, and
I think it's the case with everyone
I
right
believe
now.
because and the other problem is Aqua, this when an inception is given from childhood itself, that you need a substance to run 100-meter and break a record in 8.8 seconds or something like that, then the child will always believe that you need something like that. You will need more sugar. You will need, to eat more meat. There are vegetarians who does sports better than,
Mario, I'm going to stop you there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Right? You mentioned the fact that on meditation is how you do 10 shows back to back, or you can push yourself to the edge, right? Even though it's humanly impossible.
Yeah.
Are you saying you can actually, anyone watching right now as well, are you saying the fact that if you meditate, you can get the energy that you require?
That is very true.
And perform 10 shows per day?
Because I'll tell you something. Now, when I do sports, I fast, okay? Like almost about 24 hours. Because I take my last meal last night, and then usually on a Wednesday and a Thursday, it goes like till 9 o'clock till I get back home. And I start with basketball in the afternoon from 2:30, and I train certain children, and then again I do my cardio till 8:30 and 9 in the night with a set of people. And
see, that's you, Mario.
I know.
People that are watching
exactly,
as well,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So what I need to tell you is that is also an inception. Like I have taught myself, I have put that mind into that place that I don't need this food sometimes. The more that I don't eat, the more that energy I take. It's kind of like a misconception also. But what I'm saying is that when you start fooling your mind like that, you don't need alcohol sometimes. Certain people, like I know some of my friends, they want to go out and have a cigarette and come back. Every song they want that. But what if you just cut it down to 2-3 songs? Okay, then I will go back and I come back. Then through that you can actually withdraw from it, and you will actually create the mind with that you can do it without that.
Okay.
Like.
So I find that
it's a complicated thing.
Yeah, I find it quite difficult as well, because I feel like everyone watching right now as well, right? The main concern that they have when their children go out there and have to perform back to back, you have no sleep regime, you have no control over what you have to do, because your management is going to be like, you have to perform, you have to perform, you have to perform.
Definitely.
Even though it's humanly it's impossible, right? Then they do go into enhancements.
Definitely.
We're talking about main substances which you can't even mention right now, but they go for it because that enhances, and they're able to commit to what they've been given as a responsibility, and that's not good. That's what ends every single individual today, because they go into the bad stream of things. Even though that is the reality of things, right? Do you think it is a concern that the parents should be actually watching out to?
Definitely.
And how do they navigate this, especially as an up-and-coming artist? How do you navigate this?
Definitely. As you said, the moment that you have the key for your life, Aquil, you will control your life, okay? The problem with the artist in the new generation is that they have sold their career with a contract to people for them to use it whenever they want. It's like putting a switch, a light on and off. Okay, I want light right now. I want you to sing right now. I want to dance right now. I'm not ready, man. But can he say that? He can't, because he has signed a contract, and that's the very reason. That's why I told you, when I went for that 1 month trip, I was like, okay, am I actually getting enough money for what I'm doing right now? That's why I thought, that's why when I came back home, I thought I should have my key for my own life. I should not, give it to anyone. Even if I'm actually going to give it for money, I will make sure that I will, have a limit of what I'm going to give. That is why I told you, Akko, that you are the person who should manage your life, not another manager. A manager would not know how much that you can give sometimes. And because people are actually waiting to pull more and more off of you, right? Because they want to be entertained. Mario, sing another song. Yeah, I will sing a song. Because I have a good heart also. I will continue and sing about 100 songs sometimes. Mind you, doesn't have to be a show. I go for a get-together. They tend to forget that I'm just a normal human being there. And I have all my right to just, sip a drink and just sit down and enjoy without singing. And they ask me to sing. Mario, they don't do that for a doctor. Hey man, can you check my... It's a very funny thing.
It happens sometimes.
Exactly.
It definitely does.
So I have to draw my line. So the thing is that if you believe that you need money, and through only music that you can make money, and you're done with that, I'm saying. You will do this for about maximum for 1-2 years, and you will get depressed, because as you said, you will be under substances a lot. Because you need to push, not because you want to do it, because the other people want to do it, because the band wants, man, perform more, go run around, get the girls and the guys, up and pumped up. You are being controlled by them because they want you to do that. And that's the exact thing I was thinking. Am I going to dance every day? How do you think that my joints would, be able to bear that much of pain? Then I'll be dead and gone by now. I won't be talking to you even. So I took the decision. Then I say, so if your children is going to think of going into this kind of music or maybe dancing, acting, make sure that they are well educated and they have the right. They know their rights and they have the control of their lives before writing signing into a contract, because that's where it goes wrong. Make sure that you will not give 100% control of your life to other person. Then you will know, I need a break. I need to stay for 1 year. Then I will think whether I'm going to do music again or not. There are about 5 times I have quit music in Sri Lanka. Okay, 5 years ago I quit music because I wanted to do this. And people were like, where is Mario? Oh my God, he's done and dusted. No, he's coming back again. Now he's back again. Now I'm on TV. That's how I got with Ravi I and all that. Because people thought that I was totally out of. No, I wanted a break. And I went for sports. I studied more. Then I have actually sharpened my sword for a new war now. Now I can use more talents on stage now. Now I'm just asking, give me a stage. I'll come and sing 20 songs and go. It's like that.
Mario, see, at the end of the day, you have a career, right?
Yes, definitely.
I have a career.
Definitely.
Everyone has a career.
Definitely.
Everyone watching right now has a career as well.
Yes.
The youth members watching, they have an idea of what their career wants to be.
Yeah.
The whole aspect of having a career is making sure that you're doing what you love to do, but at the same time making money.
Definitely.
That is where I find a little bit contradictory from what
you are saying.
Well,
I know.
Because at the end of the day, it is about money.
Yes.
If you're not making money from what you're passionately doing, what's the point? How are you going to live? How are you going to live? How are you going to survive?
Definitely. Now, if a person look at from the outer side of my appearance, they would think, okay, Mario is not making that much of money. No, the thing is that I have laid somewhat of a plan where sometimes I don't need to work that hard. I have production team going on. I have bought certain equipment and going on. It's up to you, and you got to be creative. Now, a career doesn't mean it's 8 to 5 every day. You can think to yourself, okay, I might making 100,000 per month by working at a place from 8 to 5. But why not I work for 4 hours at home, logging in, and do another side business and have 2 hours with my friends? That's how you should be creative, because by the time you go and spend some talking with your friends, you will actually find new people with new concepts that you can actually make more money than what you're doing in your career. All I'm asking, it's take it or leave it. Okay, all I'm asking is, there is so much that you can do. Okay, but you have to play through it. You have to try out things, take risk also. And a career is what you need to survive yourself and your children, and especially when you are having a family, you can't play around with them. So I know that responsibility, because even though I don't have children, I know how my father went through a lot. And that's the very reason he got up every day. Even though he didn't want to go for a show, he went for a show and made money and came. Yeah. So that sacrifice needs to be there. But at the same time, you need to be creative to make your own space. It is not that much educated in Sri Lanka, because we've been trained in such way in Sri Lanka through the school systems to actually go for that government job 8 to 5. You got to be there so that people can be controlled in such way. It's a matrix after all, and you need to find your own loophole to come out, and whenever you want to come in, you do it. That's the only way that you can survive in this, man.
Right, that's amazing, Mario. Yeah. Now, I want to come to a little bit of an interesting one, right? We're going to segue a little bit.
Yeah.
A lot of people that want to pursue singing, right? It's talent that you sort of build. You're not naturally gifted with every single thing. You can't pitch those notes all the way high, like Whitney Houston, Bryan Adams,
Definitely.
and whatnot. You have to build on it.
Definitely.
You have to, sort of practice and exercise. What are the main techniques you would actually suggest the viewers watching right now as well to sort of build the talent locally?
I believe that not sticking into one genre is very important. You can sing Hindi, you can sing Western, Bryan Adams too.
Versatility.
There are sometimes I try to sing Celine Dion's. It's so high for me, but I try because it opens up my vocal cords a lot. Celine Dion is a person who's highly motivated when it comes to vocal training, and like when you're touching all of these genres, it actually gives you that open mind about music. At the same time, it colors your life. Because the way that you perform also, you tend to get those people's aspects, the way that their body language. Singing is not just one thing, man. It's just not, you can still say in one place and, hit all those notes, but people are not going to have fun with that. But having a little bit of rhythm in that, putting a little bit of dancing, falling on the ground and ending a song, and that's called showmanship, presentation. That all matters. So touching all those aspects, because when you're into Hindi, the crowd who loves to listen to Hindi should, like sit down and calm and quiet. You should cater those people. At the same time, when you're in the young crowd, you will go help, on stage, you jump up and down, you rock your head. If you do that, that will open up you to a lot of, abilities with your voice, vocal cords that you can actually lead up to sing anything in this world.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, Mario. Now you said, you sometimes sing Celine Dion.
Yeah.
Can we hear a piece?
Okay, I'll go on to Bryan Adams because I love Bryan Adams one. Okay, this is an amazing song that I loved. Here I am, this is me. There is nowhere else on earth I'd rather be. Here I am, just me and you. So now we will make our dreams come true. It's a new world. It's a new start. It's alive with the beating of young hearts. It's a new day. It's a new plan. I've been waiting for you. Here I am.
Oh my God, amazing. That's so good.
Thank you so much.
Whoa.
What? I was actually shutting my eyes and thinking. I was 16 years old when I fell in love with Bryan Adams songs, and I was screeching, trying to hit those notes. My goodness, and right now tears coming to my eyes because that much of passion led us so far. So that one person can actually inspire so much of children.
Yeah.
Trust me, man. I love those people because they actually opened our lives not to TikTok, but to real value of life, real color of life.
Yeah, man. Real things.
Man, really.
I love that. You have a very raspy voice, which I love.
Thanks,
it
man.
gives a very, old school kind of vibes. I love that. Those are the kind of things that really move people as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my God, I'm just so speechless right now.
Thanks, man.
So good.
Thanks, man.
Mario, something else that I actually wanted to get and derive from what you sang as well, right? That was amazing, by the way. Is in terms of the high pitches, the high notes, different vocality ranges as well, right? Yeah. I feel like a lot of people watching right now sort of wants to identify, how do I find my voice?
Yeah.
Is this the right thing? If this is my rasp, and if this is how Bryan Adams sings, should I sing this way? Or maybe, someone else like Celine Dion, she sings high, very, very high-pitched notes. Do I sing melodically like that? How do you identify your voice?
The best thing, I believe, is the feeling. Follow the feeling, okay? Whenever you listen to Bryan Adams, and it's a total separation, right? Celine Dion is someone totally different. And if you find the feeling of Celine Dion singing and the way that Bryan Adams is singing, you should not try to copy the tonality, but copy the feeling. If you can even go beyond him or her, you're brilliant, trust me. That's where you will find yourself, I would say. Now, this is not Bryan Adams. I will never be Bryan Adams. But I am actually, bringing up something of my own for the love of what he has created, or she has created. And that's the secret to it, I believe. So then and there, you will stop, like I told you, you will stop thinking about your range. Now, talking about my sister, she has a beautiful voice. Okay, the problem is that she has the same mentality that other people have. Oh, she's singing so high, I can't sing so high. Why think like that? You start with your range. I also started 7 notes in between that I never got to an octave after 10 years or so. But you develop from there. Like I told you, you are a sword. If you don't sharpen it and if you don't do your drills every day, when the voice coming, it'll be in your rusty, and you can't even pull it out, right? That's what you're gonna do. And the other thing is, sing, sing, sing. man. Vocal training cannot make a singer. The more you love music, the more you sing those songs while it's going on and get together and sing. Life will be beautiful, your voice will be beautiful. I have seen a lot of children, okay, girls, like I told you, real talent we haven't seen in Sri Lanka, man. In time to come, we will see those children like about 12 years old. My God, they can pitch somewhere way beyond Celine Dion, and it's so beautiful. The tonality is amazing.
All right, that's amazing. Thank you so much.
You too, man.
Mario, it was such an amazing pleasure
Same
to actually
here.
have you on board as well
Same
and have
here,
this
Ko.
conversation
Same here, Ko.
about the concern that the youth has as well when it comes to music. So thank you so much for doing this conversation.
Can I take like a few seconds to thank you all?
Sure.
And I like to actually thank Ravi Aya and also Nikki and also Equal you. Because of Ravi Aya, I got to know you all today. And mind you, amazing thinking that you have, and I wish you all the very best for your future, man. Thank you for the producer also. Thank you so much, guys, everybody.
Thank you so much. All right, and with that, of course, that is a wrap right here on Gen XYZ. Don't forget, we'll bring to you a different concern that you'd like as well with a pioneer in the industry of Sri Lanka. Well, until then, don't forget, we are available on youtube.com/othertherana English in case you do miss out on an episode as well. And with that, well, mad love going out to Barnsbury as well for being a part of the show. And with that, I shall see you differently on a different episode right here only on Gen XYZ.
Put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to do? 24 karat magic in the air. Head to toe so clear. Look out. Pop, pop, it's showtime. 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 Guess who's back again? Oh, they don't know. Oh, they don't know. I bet they know as soon as we walk in. Shut up. I'm wearing Cuban links, designer mix, Inglewood's finest shoes. Whoop, whoop. Don't look too hard, might hurt yourself. Known to give the color red the blues. Woo, shit. I'm a dangerous man with some money in my pocket. Keep up. So many pretty girls around me and they're waking up the rocket. Keep up.